We got to talk about all this Madam Web spum news, Mason.
Spum news.
So this first bit's via EW. This is general Dakota Johnson news, right?
Sure.
And bits and pieces. She spoke to EW. That's like an interview where she's talking about the making of Madam Web, and she said, "I've never really done a movie where you are on a blue screen and there's a fake explosion going off and somebody's going explosion and you act like there's an explosion." That to me
This is
was
all the budget we had. We say explosion, and the audience fills it in their minds.
That to me was absolutely psychotic. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good at all. I hope that I did an okay job.
Now, to be clear, she is on the campaign trail for this movie.
Sort of.
If people are wondering, no, this didn't come out 6 months ago, and she's talking about her experience now that it's too late to affect the box office. This is her in full publicity mode,
also
promoting this movie that isn't out yet.
Bearing in mind she's the child of two very famous people, so she's probably not right.
Oh, that's right. Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But to be fair, like to finish that quote, she said, "But I trusted her," director S.J. Clarkson, who has worked on Game of Thrones and other good things, but it is spum and, you know.
It's spum, all right.
She worked so hard and she has not taken her eyes off this movie since we started. Anyway, there's more things.
Sure.
She
hasn't taken her eye off it just in case anybody steals some props or,
yeah.
you know.
Paints the set a different colour, which
That's right.
Sometimes they'll do. So Variety also had an article this week, and it was called, As Cinematic Universes Stumble, Sony leans into standalone superhero series with Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter. So, here's some quotes from it. Sony has largely minimized the interconnected nature of the superhero films reshoots to offer up a vague time period. This is from Madam Web. We talked about this last week because they were originally going to put it in the Andrew Garfield universe, and that doesn't work, and then we'll put it in the Tom Holland one. No, that would mean it's in the MCU. Let's just put it in its own universe. And I think so. I saw one of the taglines, which was like, "In a universe you don't know about," or whatever. It's something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Imagine a universe where it's alone and it's locked off. You can't get there. They can't get out either.
In a universe you're not interested in. That'll get them right.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology, because they'll be like, well, you don't tell me what I won't be interested in. Maybe I would be interested in. Oh, no, I won't.
So also, this is an interesting move. Dakota Johnson's, she took a jump from WME to CAA in November.
These are management companies.
This was just days after the baffling first trailer debuted. So I don't know if you remember, the Madam Web trailer came out and people were not very comfortable with the goings-on, were they?
No.
No, there's a line where it's like, the villain was in the jungle with my mother.
Let me tell you about this, because when we watch the movie we're going to talk about later, there was a version of that on. They've trimmed that quote down.
Whoa, to what?
They've cut out the before because he says, he was in the Amazon with my mother researching spiders before she died, and they cut out the before she died.
Oh my God, she's back.
She might be back, but I think it's also because they're like, that's too much. That's too many words in a sentence.
It is, isn't it?
It's unpleasant, and the more you think about it, the more your brain rots away. So.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny. Like, they've gone, because what has had to happen there is they've had to go, panic stations, let's rework this trailer. How can we do that? Keep it the same, but trim off 3 words.
I also got that trailer.
They have to send it to all the cinemas. Crazy.
I missed it. I was on my phone for that
nice.
for the trailer. I'm gonna be real with you, Mason. So she moved management companies after the trailer debuted, and this raised industry eyebrows, along with a Raz in a recent SNL monologue describing the film as like if AI generated your boyfriend's perfect movie. Which also, I just want to point out, that's really insulting. Because this is nobody's perfect movie. Ouch. I haven't seen it yet, but that's...
No, but it's if AI did it. AI,
like a bad version.
Very flawed and bad, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, what I think happened here, and I think the reason she moved into management companies, because I think she blames them for Sony tricking her into doing what she thought was an MCU movie. Yeah. She probably thought she was going to be like Captain Marvel or whatever. Yeah. She probably thought that, well, I'm going to be like... You know how Tom Holland Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man? I'm Spider-Woman. Yep. So I'm going to be in that unit.
Yeah, that's right.
But do your research.
I saw somebody...
Do your own research.
I saw somebody on Twitter pointed this out. They went to Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney and a couple of other actors' Instagram pages, and when it was announced they were signed on to Madam Web, they all did a post about it, and they a little post about the Variety article or whatever it was, and they'd all tagged Marvel Studios on the thing. So I think all of them thought they were signing for Marvel Studios.
I knew it. Yeah. I fucking knew it, Mason. Because of course you'd be furious if you made Morbius accidentally. Anything could be good.
Not Morbius, though.
No, that was bad.
It was
but
bad.
anything can be good.
From this point forward is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because many things in the past have been
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. Forget what you know about the past.
Because we've said in the past a lot, we have said anything can be good. And then it turns out we've been wrong a lot of times.
Yeah, a lot of that is wrong.
Mostly Sony Spider-Man pictures.
A lot of them are those, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it also gives me the benefit of the doubt. If they ever accidentally make a good one, I can be, see?
Yeah.
I said it could have been good and it was sort of.
Time-coded. Yep.
So also there's rumours that Sony want to bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man 4.
Of course they would.
Don't do that. Leave them in their own universes. Just make it a standalone Spider-Man movie where he has to whatever, okay? And he's sad about it.
Make a parallel universe where it's Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. They're both Spider-Man in the same universe, but Tom Holland is not there.
Yes.
And it's just two Spider-Men.
Yes.
Great.
That's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
You could just,
Two Aunt Mays.
yeah. Just put, you know what? Just take Andrew Garfield and just put him in the Raimi universe. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's do Spider-Man. It's fine. They're both 40. It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah. Also, you might remember this. So at CinemaCon 2022, the studio brought Bad Bunny on stage to announce El Muerto.
I remember.
Where he was going to play the superhuman luchador, which was going to be one of those Sony spin-off Spider-Man movies.
They already have the rights to it, so...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But of course, they said here, but his conflicting tour and script revisions now means the project... so he had to leave the project. But here's the thing. We saw an interview where they asked him about it and he was not happy. And it was his PR person was like, obviously that's not happening.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. The project is back in development without the star on the books.
That's
so
wild.
El Muerto could be coming.
But that's interesting because the only reason this one really exists is because he looked at all the...
And he found that character was on like 3 pages of one comic book.
Yeah, and he's like, this is the one I want to do.
Yeah.
And so they're now going... They're going with his choice without him? That's interesting.
Isn't it just?
Yeah.
Did you have some more vague Dakota Johnson news?
No, but I remember this from the other week.
I watched that Hot Ones episode and Sydney Sweeney did promote Madam Web.
Yeah. That's right.
Who knew?
I don't know, man. Io Edebiri was going to be in Thunderbolts, so she's from The Bear.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And they swapped her out for...
Geraldine Viswanathan.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, but apparently this is due to... Because everything got delayed and the season 3 of The Bear is going to be...
Well, they swapped out the Sentry recently as well.
Stephen Ewan, yeah. It's going to be...
And now it's Top Gun guy, Bill Pullman's son or whatever his name is. It's going to be Sentry.
Top Pullman.
I
love that.
I
didn't know Io Edebiri was going to be in a Marvel thing.
No, me neither. Yeah. But she's not.
No, she's not.
Don't worry about it. She got too famous.
She's not.
She got too famous. They didn't move it along quick enough.
That's right.
All right, should we move it along?
Yes.
Anything can be good. Hold that thought, though.
Oh, come on, mate.
Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.